Hey y'all, it's Rick here on a Saturday afternoon for you. Maybe it's not where you are as you're listening, but it is for me where I am sitting. Hope it is a good weekend for you so far. Glad you're with me today as we begin, as we always begin, by remembering, recognizing, and most importantly, leaning into the reality that we are always and everywhere in the holy presence of God and each other. So, a couple of things here at the beginning before we jump into what I would like to share to you today about stories and listening. So, first of all, I want to say thank you to a new paid subscriber. I'm not one of those that I like to name drop in here, but thank you to the person who did pay to subscribe. Paid subscriptions are super nice, y'all. I don't ask for those here. I don't seek those. I don't do this for that. That said, it is a nice way to support and to affirm that you like what I am doing here. So, thank you for that. And most of all, just thank you for listening and thank you for sharing. And please, give as you can. Just a comment, a like, a share, any of those kind of things are very affirming. So I just want to say thank you. And to other paid subscribers that I have as well. Again, you know who you are, and I am grateful for you. So thank you very much for that. Secondly, you might notice I am wearing a Columbus Crew shirt. I am a huge Columbus Crew fan. You can see the flag, not the rainbow flag, but the flag next to it. Behind me is a Columbus Crew flag, and I'm a big Crew fan. Won't be going to the game tonight. Unfortunately, I got to work. I do a Saturday job every Saturday. But today is, as they call it in the English Premier League, it is a derby. Now, if you're not familiar, it's spelled Derby, but they pronounce it over in England as a derby. And those are the rivalry matches. So that would be like when the two Manchester teams play or when the two Liverpool teams play, right? Those are the big matchups. And here in the States, in the MLS, we also have derbies. And the derby that is taking place in Columbus today between the Crew and our rivals, the Cincinnati FC, south of us about 90 minutes. They call this derby, and if you're not familiar with where this comes from, it cracks me up because Columbus and Cincinnati are two really good teams at this point. So, this is a big game, and it's a game they'll be talking about nationally. And on Apple TV Plus, where they televise MLS games, they're going to be talking about this derby, which is called Hell is Real. Now, local Ohio folks probably get the reference. Everybody else outside of Ohio, they're like, what? Hell is real. Okay. Are we making a theological statement? Are we making, what is this all about? Right. Um, for those of you that are not in the know, who are not familiar with Interstate 71 between Columbus and Cincinnati, there are at least one big billboard that says "Hell is real." So the sort of the mantra or the name of this competition, this matchup is "Hell is real." And it's usually a good game. Rooting for the Crew. They have only lost one game so far this year, so hoping they do well. And this is if you're even a fan and you're in the know, this is a special jersey they made for this season. They call it the Goosebumps, like the Scholastic book series, because the Goosebump author R.L. Stine is from Columbus. So this year, when they wanted to do a special jersey, they went with this kind of design, kind of a creepy little, goosebumpy design. It kind of glows in the dark, which is kind of cool. But anyway, this was given to me as a gift, and that was just a very nice gift. And I'm going to wear it proudly today when I go to work in a little while. So I wanted just to share with you something that's very much on my mind today, and that has to do with sharing our stories, and not just sharing our stories from the head, but sharing them from the heart, and especially from the gut. So, what do I mean? And why am I thinking about this today? Well, Saturday mornings have really become for me a key time for my recovery work, my 12-step recovery work. Now, I've referred to my 12-step recovery here before. I'm not quite ready to be more specific about it, meaning I'm not going to be specific about what program I go to, what I have struggled with. That may come later. For now, I will just say it's not a substance, so it's not the beverage program, as they say. It's not one of that program, um, but I go every morning, Saturday morning, to a meeting, a Zoom meeting, an online meeting, and it's really been amazing. I've been going for 4 years. I have worked the 12 steps with a sponsor. I continue to work with the sponsor, and in the most significant way, I have a number of sponsees that I work with. So I'm guiding them through the 12 steps. And it just so happens on Saturday mornings, I talk to two sponsees, one before the meeting and one after the meeting. So it is a full, really about 3 hours on Saturday morning that I get to be working my recovery program. And I was very much appreciating today the value for me to be able to do this because what it allows me to do, and it's always when one is sponsoring or being sponsors, there's always a dialogue, and always a communication, and it's never about one person is the authority and one person is the expert. Yes, one person, the sponsor, is a little bit further down the path of recovery. That said, you are profoundly equal because the equalizer in 12-step recovery is your shared desire to recover, to let go of, grow beyond, heal from whatever the addiction might be. So today, again, I was thinking about that as I listened to these two young men, both are younger than me, share their stories and also share my story, my experience. We talk a lot in 12 step about sharing our experience, strength, and hope. Because in 12 step, we don't advise, we don't counsel, we really definitely don't tell people what they should and shouldn't do. All that we do is we say, you know what, this is my experience. Here is what I have experienced in a similar situation. And then we have a slogan. We say, take what you like and leave the rest. We just put it out there, and that's how we roll. So I was thinking today about this head, heart, gut. You know, we are living in a time period, y'all, that is such a superficial time period, right? There's so much information, so much head stuff, all of these opinions and all this stuff that's just in the head, right? So rarely, and this is in our churches too, y'all, this is across our society. So rarely do we speak from the heart, which has to do with the feelings, which has to do with love and integrity and truth. And I think even less rarely, maybe almost never in our culture today, do we speak from even deeper, which I call the gut, right? Which is really when we get down to that gut level, when we are speaking our truth, when we are speaking our experience, when we are listening and responding in love and goodness and kindness from our guts. When we're being real, y'all. And again, so often that is just not the case. I was talking with my second sponsee today, and he said, we were talking about the culture, and he said that it is all about appearances. And I said, yeah, it's also, I agreed with him. I said, it's also about acquisition, right? The two A's, if you will, appearances and acquisition. And that is not what nourishes us. That is not what really gives us life. That's not what makes us healthy, keeps us healthy. We got to go deep. We got to be able to tell our story. We got to have places where our story can be received non-judgmentally without somebody trying to fix it or solve it. People just say, I hear it. I get it. Here's my experience. I'm with you, right? And again, I find this in 12-step recovery, in the multiple programs that I work and the meetings that I go to and the people that I sponsor and am sponsored by. So I hope that this has maybe inspired something in you. to look at your life, where you are speaking from your head or focusing on your head, all the attention, facts, figures. That is a really comfortable place for me. I learned at an early age that that's a safe place for me. That said, I've also learned that I need to go deeper, that when I speak from my heart, it's different. It's different for me. It's different for the people, the relationship. It's different. And then when I can even go deeper and trust to speak from my gut, my truth, my core, that is even more amazing and more remarkable. So I hope you are finding places and people that you can speak from the heart and the gut and to feel that support. People to whom you can tell your story. I want to close with a little short reading from this book. I don't know that I've pulled this one off my shelf in a while and shared this with you, but it's a really great book. I'll put a link to it in the chat. And the nice thing about older books like this is that you can get them on Amazon used for like $2 plus shipping, like $5. I think that's how much I paid for this. But it's a really cool book. I'll check it out in the messages. But I'm going to read just a little tiny piece about telling a story. And this is in a section here of little reflections for things that we go through the day, right? So throwing out the garbage, taking off your shoes, looking at the stars, ways that we can just take our everyday ordinary and go deeper with them, look deeper and be deeper with them. So here is what it says. Barry Lopez and Crow and Weasel, don't know where that's from, but he says this: the stories people tell have a way of taking care of them. If stories come to you, care for them and learn to give them away where they are needed. Sometimes a person needs a story more than food to stay alive. This is why we put these stories in each other's memory. This is how people care for themselves. Yeah. I am so grateful for the 12-step rooms, virtual rooms these days, and the relationships where I can share my story, I can receive someone else's story, and together in doing this, we can create a new story together, and also we can create a deeper way of being within our shallow, superficial world today. So may you today tell stories, may you receive stories, may you make stories. Thanks for being part of my story today. I really appreciate that, y'all. Blessing and good. Be well.